Yo, you guys, that was really weird. So we're starting this video over because the last one was crazy glitching out with echoes. I've never experienced that on a YouTube live from my phone before. It was like just echo looping forever. So we're back. Gonna wait for some people to pile in because I had to get the new link out. So what's up, Becca? Glad you're here. Hopefully the other people from the other video are piling in. There we go, a couple people getting in. Awesome. So were you guys hearing that too? Was it like infinite echoing my voice? So strange. Must be a sign of something good, right? All right, so yeah, in this video, we're gonna be talking about everything going on with XRP lately. XRP's obviously been taking off and really flying. The whole market's really been in green the past couple days. So we're gonna be talking about that. What up, Aaron? Good to see you. What's up? We are one, up 3. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about XRP and everything going on in the market, answering any questions you guys have about that and crypto in general. We're gonna talk about Flare and the Flare postponement, because I haven't really covered that too much on here. The official launch date was postponed to October. We're gonna talk about Songbird, which is the test network for Flare, and the announcement about that and what that means for Flare. And we're gonna talk about a new favorite project of mine that's kind of been my secret, not super secret, like if you guys follow Zen God, you probably know about this, but Stronghold has been kind of one of my golden projects that I've been investing in lately that I feel like has a lot of opportunity, and I've been meaning to create a whole video dedicated just to Stronghold and just talking about it, explaining what it is, you know, why I'm investing in it, and why I think it is going to be a really large project moving forward. And essentially it comes down to the fact that they're paired with large groups, networks like Flare and like Ripple XRP. So we'll talk about that. Welcome, Christina Love. Good to see you. What's up, Angelito? Cracks open a hard kombucha. Nice. It is noon now, so you're good. You know, it's past noon. You're chilling. SL, you buying into ADA? We could talk about ADA. I personally don't own any ADA, Cardano, but Cardano's doing really great right now, and I was just watching a Mickey B. Fresh video, and they were really bullish on Cardano and very excited for the direction of the new DeFi, decentralized finance projects that'll be available through Cardano and also Polkadot and other things. But I personally don't have any Cardano. It just hasn't been, you know, whenever I go to invest, it just hasn't been the top of my list of projects, but I still think it's a good investment nonetheless. So first off, I want to say thank you to everyone who was at the Family of Light gathering, because that was amazing, blew me away. It was so incredibly smooth and incredibly magical, and to have all those people from all these different places, different niches within the consciousness community, from cryptocurrency, disclosure, to galactic, you know, ascension related topics, to the more science and body related stuff, health and wellness. Like, there was a lot of different niches, and it was really cool to bring those communities together. And I saw so many people who were meeting people that they wouldn't have otherwise met, and connecting and sharing information, and a lot of people also connecting romantically. Like, there was quite a few people who after the conference were like romantically kind of starting a new journey, and that was really cool to see too. It's always cool to see like new love blossom from events like that. So thank you to everyone that was there in person. Truly amazing, and we're super stoked for doing it again next year. We are already planning our next event. We're just keeping the momentum rolling, so we've got a lot of things in the works right now. The next thing we're going to be doing is going to be a retreat in Sedona that is going to be less than 20 people, so super limited, between 10 and 20 people. It's going to be a retreat this winter, so a winter cozy retreat in Sedona with the snow on the Red Rocks. Beautiful sight if you've never seen it. It doesn't get too snowy here. It's always just a light dusting, and then makes the rocks look pretty and then goes away. But we have very mild winters, so it's very good. And this retreat is in this giant 10-bedroom dome house right on the creek in Sedona. So it's huge. It's kind of like a mansion, but it's a dome. It's literally the largest dome structure for a house that I've ever seen. And we've been there before. We've actually spoken at a retreat. Alexis and I spoke at a retreat there, and we loved it. We had a feeling that we were going to be working there and maybe even like hosting retreats there one day, and that's exactly what we're doing now. So we've already got a couple people signed up for that. Everyone that's actually signed up is pro XRP, so you know that there's going to be interesting conversations going on there. But if you missed the in-person Family of Light gathering, this could be I should say the conference Family of Light gathering. This could be a really good opportunity to connect with Family of Light members, and in a space that is way more low-key and relaxed and chill, and rather than like speakers and that kind of conference vibe, this is going to be all about recharging, relaxing, activating, and really soaking in that Sedona energy and getting grounded and ready for all the new changes that are going to be coming up in the new earth in the coming year and years, and even next couple weeks I think is going to be really intense. But this is going to be in December 1st through the 5th. So if you're interested in that, you can go ahead and shoot me a DM or an email. My email is down below. I have a new email that I'm using, cosmicorigins777@gmail.com. So if you're interested in signing up for that retreat, we do expect that it's going to sell out because it is such a small, limited number. So if you're interested in that and you want to know more about the details, you can reach out to me. And then in addition, before we get started on the crypto news and stuff, I'm opening up crypto coaching sessions again. I've been getting a lot of people actually referring me to other people for crypto coaching, and people reaching out to me for assistance, technical assistance. So this isn't financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. I can tell you why I invest in and why I'm interested in the things that I am, but I can't necessarily give you advice. But this is technical assistance with actually setting up your cryptocurrency exchanges, portfolios, wallets, all that kind of stuff. So if you've experienced any kind of blockages because you try to get into crypto and you're like, oh, it's too much, like I don't know where to start, there's all these different things, there's different places, like where do I even go? So that's what I'm really helping people with, especially people that are technically challenged. I'm helping them with, like, with computers and stuff. So if that interests you, those sessions are paid for in cryptocurrency too. The donations are done via crypto. So it's really cool because basically I'll get you all set up and I'll get you to the point where you have your first purchase done or your first transaction from your exchange to your wallet, and then you will make the donation via crypto like XRP or XLM or something. And it's always really exciting for people who have never done a transaction in crypto before to start using it in a tangible way and be like, whoa, I just paid, this coach in this new age, quantum currency basically. And to like actually, it's one thing to just talk about it, but to actually do it and pay someone, make a business transaction or something like that with crypto, it has this really magical feeling to it because you're like, wow, that was free, that was instant, and it was completely decentralized, right? There's no PayPal or there's no bank or there's no anything that's going to be like, well, we don't like the things that you talk about on the internet, or we don't like, this about you, or your credit is too low, or whatever. That's all in the past. That's all the past control systems. And now we literally have a financial system where you can send anybody in the world an infinite amount of money, from a penny to billions of dollars, for fractions of a dollar in fees, in instant, 2 to 4 seconds. So it's really cool to like actually show people that for the first time. And some of my clients that are like using crypto now more with their friends and other stuff, they're like, wow, I'm really seeing like the benefit of it. Like, you're not paying fees on PayPal, you're not waiting days for a wire in the bank, blah, blah, blah. And this is really possible right now from peer to peer with people like us, and it's getting implemented on the institutions. So now people are kind of like thinking about, how am I going to be able to use this? For instance, a couple of my clients are, and so they are potentially, I'm thinking, going to be interested in the real estate capabilities of cryptocurrency and decentralized finance in particular with real estate. So for instance, with Flare Networks is having third-party real estate companies build decentralized applications also known as dApps. If you ever hear the word dApps, that's decentralized applications, and that just means developers creating applications that are decentralized on blockchain networks that are decentralized, DeFi, decentralized finance. And so there is a company that is making a decentralized real estate settlement process for Flare. And the possibilities are really endless with that, because that in particular is for settlement using cryptocurrencies, I'm pretty sure. But then there's also the loan side of it. And I'm not sure if they're going to include decentralized loans in the real estate application natively. But on other aspects of the Flare network, there are loans that are already built into the network when it launches. In Flare Finance, I believe they call it Flare Loan or Flare Mutual, I forget. But basically, even if the real estate company doesn't create a loan aspect of their application built in, you'll be able to get a loan decentralized with, credit score, doesn't matter, whatever. It's based on likely the amount you have invested is determines how much the loan will, be in value. And you'll be able to get a decentralized loan through, say, Flare, and then settle a real estate transaction through this decentralized application. And in addition to that, on kind of the other end of the spectrum, there's already houses being sold via NFTs. So we've talked about NFTs. Non-fungible tokens are essentially a uniquely minted crypto coin, like you would have, a uniquely minted silver or gold coin that has a unique seal or piece of art on it. This is the equivalent of that for a digital coin. It's a unique coin, although there can be as many of them as you want. So you could have 1, 10, 10,000, a million. But they're being used for artists and people who are creating products for sale, even services even, but mostly products at this point. And they don't even have to be digital products. That was kind of what people assumed in the beginning, is that it was really just for digital art and things like that, and it couldn't really scale to the physical world. But they've actually just sold houses now with NFTs. So what that means is it's basically giving a completely decentralized history of, in this instance, the property. So say you make a property, an NFT property, right? So you have a home, you own the home, you own the land, you assign an NFT for it. Now, anytime that house is sold, lived in, rented, whatever, there will be a history of it that is public and decentralized on the blockchain. It's no longer going to be stored by real estate agencies or the homeowner, or how, whatever was previously done. I don't even know, honestly, how it works in the traditional space, but this is going to create essentially full transparency for things like that. So this can be applied to all sorts of products. This can be applied to cars. This could be applied to Organite. This could be applied to plants. I almost want to say animals, except that could be taken the wrong way, but maybe in the sense of like animals that need to be tracked, with, especially in mass quantities, like fish in an aquarium, or I don't know, animals at the zoo, or where they need anything that could have a use case for it being tracked and that has been previously stored by a private group where they could manipulate the numbers and lie about what the truth is. That's where the blockchain is really gonna shine. And this is what I really try to explain to people who are still kind of afraid of blockchain and crypto tech, because they think it's the New World Order takeover. And I'm like, no, it could be. Like the New World Order definitely has their plans for their blockchain tech. But on the other side, on the light side, it is completely liberating and puts us into this more fourth density 5D mindset where things are transparent, right? Like in the fourth density 5D, whatever you want to call it, after this quantum shift, when we are more telepathic, when we're more psychic, everything is transparent, right? So you can't hide anything. There's no lies. There's no deception within the community itself. There's still deception in the universe, but within the civilization, it's all transparent. And that's opposed to right now and for the past thousands of years, where good and evil, deception and honesty live together, sometimes right next to each other, side by side, as neighbors. Or you're at you're rubbing shoulders with someone at the supermarket who could be extremely evil and you're extremely good, and that's the duality of Earth, right? But we're moving into the state where it's fully transparent and the polarities are aligned. So as you can tell now with the state of the world, the polarities are already aligning and separating. So the service to others is getting more polarized in service to others and helping and assistance and selflessness. And the service to self is polarizing more towards that with greed and corruption and selfishness and all that kind of stuff. And that's what will continue to polarize. And ultimately, there will only be space for the light left on the new earth because, of course, God always wins, light always wins. And that's the ultimate divine plan, in my opinion, from what I've seen and felt and understood in my connections with the universe. And those that will not resonate with these new energies will no longer be on the planet anymore. And this kind of, you know, solves that paradox of like people being like, well, humanity is inherently evil, right? It's not true. It's not true at all. The evil has been perpetuated and projected onto us and then blamed on us, which is why they try to say, you know, that the weather changing is all our fault, and that they don't put any of that blame or accountability on just universal laws and the solar changes and the you know, solar system changing and the sun heating up and solar cycles and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was a big tangent from crypto to space weather. I'm gonna check out the chat real quick. Successful Sarah, good to see you. Yep, glad you were at the Family of Light. What's up, Zen? Yeah, Angelito, we'll talk about the flare drop. K-Ria says, I've thought every once in a while about the need of a consciousness type dating app, sort of a matrix add-on to manifestation. And fun note, you look so much like my daughter, a junior at ASU. I look like your daughter? Hopefully I still look like a guy though. That's cool. Maybe she's my long lost sister from another life. Flare Mutuals for insurance. Flare loans will allow us not to have to sell our crypto. Thank you, Earthworth. Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, so the insurance, and correct me if I'm wrong, somebody in the chat, but the insurance Flare network at this point, I'm pretty sure is not insurance in the traditional sense of like you'll be able to insure your car or your house. It's insurance for the crypto itself and for things going wrong with the crypto, like transactions being sent to the wrong place, or maybe not even that, honestly. I think it might be more so bugs within the system and imperfections, and if something were to happen like that, then you would be insured in that sense. But correct me if I'm wrong, I do believe that there will be true insurance for like cars and homes and things like that coming for the decentralized space in the near future. What's up, Hodl or Die? Oh, okay, good question, Angelito. He says, thoughts on BitBoy Crypto joining the XRP army all of a sudden? I never watched BitBoy. I had heard about him. If you guys don't know, BitBoy is the #1 crypto YouTuber. So of anyone online talking about crypto in the entertainment space, he's got the largest following of like 1 million plus subscribers, which honestly is not very big when you think about like a lot of these other YouTubers have 5, 10, 20, 50 million subscribers. So crypto is still really small. Even Bitcoin, when you think about that the biggest YouTuber only has 1 million subs, at least in his kind of category of what he talks about. There might be other YouTubers who maybe loosely talk about crypto and have more followings, but he's like the biggest analyst. And so he was anti-XRP for the longest time, of course, Bitcoin maxi, and recently he's changed his tune, and it sounds like he's been getting intel from some sources of his that basically validates everything that people in the XRP community have been saying already about the direction of where this is going and the mass adoption on the institutional level, and how this is going to actually realistically in the short term shoot XRP to the $20+ range. So that's what BitBoy is saying now, $20+, which I believe if you guys, with Mr. Pool, there's a page connected to Mr. Pool called Crypto Maniac that I also follow. And they're related because Mr. Pool is constantly liking Crypto Maniac's posts. And he liked one of the posts recently that said that XRP minimum this year would be like $18, $20, pretty sure. And then potentially more. But, you know, when it comes to all these predictions, dates, prices, numbers, whether it's crypto or 17 stuff, I take it all with a grain of salt because, of course, we've been let down so many times on dates, and I feel like it's just there to teach us, like, not to have expectations. And my dad always told me growing up, expectations are the root of all failure, in the sense that when you expect things to happen one way and they don't, you feel disappointed, you feel failed, either by yourself or by whatever external thing you were putting that faith in that you thought was gonna, that you expected was gonna happen, right? So on the flip side, there's a sense of manifesting that is kind of an opposite energy to expecting, because I think expecting is like a, almost like a toxic feminine way of manifesting, because it's like, expecting is the receiving, because you're not really doing anything to get it, right? You're just expecting it, but it's not like a balanced way of receiving, because you're not like manifesting it, you're kind of just sitting back in the traditional sense of expectations. You kind of just are like, have a projected sense of what is, and then when it's not that way, you feel triggered. And I think that's like one of the biggest earth lessons, to be honest. It's definitely been one of the biggest lessons for me. Becca says, BitBoy Crypto may be in it for the XRP sell-off, drawing people towards that action instead of for long-term investment to build and create. Yep, probably. I mean, yeah. he doesn't strike me as the kind of person that sees the total long-term perspective. It's more like to make a quick buck. But I think he's getting it more now, because it sounds like whatever sources he has are actually legit telling him. And we just passed 2222 on the live ticker, so that must be a sign. Whatever sources are telling him this, he really believes, and he feels very strongly that XRP is going to be a huge project. And he might even be feeling hesitant about Bitcoin now because he realizes what's going on. Now, we'll see if he ends up talking about Flare at all. So, yeah, so let's talk about XRP a little bit. We're sitting at $1. Right before I started, we were at like $1.23, which is crazy because, you know, we've just been bouncing up really fast. So if you guys, well, let's talk about market cycles and stuff a little bit, because I know this is something Angelito had asked about in the Telegram group chat, which, by the way, if you guys aren't in the Telegram, you can go join the Telegram group chat. It's t.me/Cosmic Origins channel. And maybe somebody could put it, maybe one of the mods can throw it in the chat. T.me/Cosmic Origins channel. What's up, Tyler? What's up, Earthworth? So let's talk about market cycles and what's going on market-wise, and with XRP and with the crypto bull run. And these 4-year cycles is particularly what Angelito had a question about, the 4-year crypto cycles and what that means moving forward, what that means right now. And then I want to talk about utility cycles, utility value runs versus what we're seeing now, which is just more of a traditional market cycle. Oh, sorry, Scott. It's t.me. Thank you, Christina Love, so much. You're awesome. Yeah. So yeah, Christina threw that link in the chat for you guys. So Angelito asked, what do you know about these 4-year cycles? What does that have to do with crypto? So what he's referring to is, from what we've seen in the 12 years that crypto has been around, there have been 3 bull run cycles spaced 4 years apart. So the first one was in 2013. That was like basically right after Bitcoin was created and really started to get some attention and traction and was blowing up. 2013 was the first one, and then 2017, 4 years later, was the last bull run that was basically the most popular and what really brought crypto to the mainstream. And then, let's trying to adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. And then now, 4 years later, 2021, we are experiencing another bull run. So this is just completely based on what people have observed analysis-wise, trend-wise in these markets. And I'm not as familiar with the stock markets, but I assume that the stock markets follow a similar type of cycle. I don't know how many years they're on, or I'm not really at all familiar with the stock market and those systems. But with crypto, you know, it's only been around 12 years, but this is the pattern that's been happening. And what I've kind of seen too is that it looks like it's extending a little bit every time. Like in 2017, it kind of bled into 2018. And I think for this one, it's going to bleed into 2022 and maybe even 2023, where we could see the cycle actually last that long. And that's because there's more volume, there's more liquidity, there's more attention on it. And that's completely speculation on my part as far as like how long this is going to last. But these are just natural market cycles, right? And I say natural in quotes because the markets are definitely manipulated for good and bad, I would say, by both good and bad actors. But they call it a natural cycle because, you know, for all intents and purposes, no one is manipulating them in the mainstream. But we know that they're manipulated for sure, whether it's by influential groups with a lot of money that can pump and dump, or AI. I think especially with XRP, I think the price is guarded by actually a positive type of AI type of thing. My face is manipulated. What's that supposed to mean, Tyler? Are you saying my face isn't real? My face might be manipulated. My face is manipulated to contain the form of this third dimensional being. And without it, I'd just be like a big goop of spiritual gas. We'll go with that. So, what was I saying? You were throwing me off, Tyler. Making me lose my train of thought. Oh, my face is beautiful. Thank you, man. So these cycles. So those are natural cycles, right? Goopy gas, I love it, says Alexis. I mean, really though, that's what we are without these, right? We're just kind of like a goopy spirit with no form. That's my best guess. So yes, market manipulation, but they call them natural cycles. The AI with XRP, I do think it is guarded by some kind of, I don't even know if I call it AI, but maybe an AI. I don't know, like AI is so vague because there can be AIs that are very simple and don't think for themselves, and then there's AIs that are really advanced, and I think that's where the term AGI comes in more, that like Peter Thiel will use. AGI, I think, is the more advanced AI thinking. But I think XRP and crypto in general, but XRP in particular, guarded by a positive AI. Bitcoin, not as much so positive. But what I want to get into, and what Jeff just asked about, personal thought on future XRP price, what we're really waiting for here is the utility run. So what does that mean? So so kind of just go to the basics of this. Crypto is not backed by anything, right? It's not backed by gold. It's not like a government agency or like, you know, the Fed or anything has said, for every one of these cryptos, you have X amount of gold, right? That would be backed by gold. Like that's how the dollar should be, but isn't, right? But what they do have is utility. So for instance, the dollar maybe does have utility in the form of cash, as in the utility of it is that it's easy, right? It's a lot easier to put $100, or let's say it's a lot easier to put, I was going to say $2,000 of cash in your pocket versus $2,000 of gold, but honestly, it's probably a lot easier to hold $2,000 of gold in your pocket because it's only like that big, where $2,000 of cash would be a fat stack of cash. But you could argue there's utility to cash because it's easy. But my point being that everything has utility. Gold's utility is that it's got tangible value, right? Like gold doesn't have an inherent value. Gold has a value determined by supply and demand, by market price, by free market recognition of it. And the utility of gold is you can use it, you can make jewelry out of it. It has healing properties. It's an essential mineral in our bodies. Like, there are purposes for gold. With crypto, it's not backed by anything. You could argue it's backed by algorithms, but when I say backed by, I mean like, I'm talking in terms of like another form of value that you could exchange it for, that some group is regulating or something like that, right? But that's kind of what we're getting away from, the regulation, at least the kind of regulations that we've been experiencing for the past 100 years with the cabal. And so the utility of crypto depends on the project. So rather than it having an inherent value, the utility gives it the value which determines the market price. So for instance, Bitcoin's utility, very minimal, but you could say store of value is its only real utility. And maybe the decentralization is a utility. XRP compared to Bitcoin has a different utility. XRP has settlement utility. It has instant transaction and almost negligible fees utility. So that is a utility because it is a technology that allows us to trade value at an increased rate and efficiency over other forms of value like gold or Bitcoin. And I bring up gold not to compare them as opposites, but actually, as I've talked about, XRP will empower gold. XRP and the positive crypto projects will empower and stimulate physical assets like gold, and then other forms of value like art and things like that, which is a really interesting concept too, that especially with NFTs and things like that, we'll be trading with more various types of things that have value. So you may be able to say one day, go to the grocery store and pay for your groceries with an NFT of a piece of art that somebody made, right? And maybe you're thinking like, how would that happen? Like, how would that piece of art have any value at the grocery store? Why would they ever take that? Well, what I would picture is that this is where there's a use case for someone to come in and create this. And this may be a good idea, actually. Someone could create a space in the crypto space where all that value is recognized. So it's maybe like a software system where the grocery stores can recognize NFTs. And then it doesn't matter what the NFT is. It doesn't matter if it's like, someone's piece of orgonite or someone's car or a house or, a crystal or something. But the value will be recognized by the system. So it'll be like, this crystal could have an NFT that says it's $15. And then when I go to the grocery store, they will be like, okay, they scan it in their system and they go $15 worth of value, we'll take that NFT. Potentially. I could see this kind of thing as becoming more and more commonplace, if you know what I mean. So that's where I see crypto continuing to enable and support physical forms of value like gold and the utility. So to go back to utility run in terms of price, that's what we're waiting for, is for the utility to kick in on the big picture. And so what does that take for XRP? What does it take for the utility to be big picture? We need regulatory clarity, essentially, so that the financial institutions like the banks and the governments, at least in the US, will be able to buy up large amounts of it legally for their settlement services. So they want it because it's an instant way, it's a technology for them to settle their value transactions instantly cross borders, right? That's the utility. And so essentially we're waiting for regulatory clarity in the United States so that the US banks can buy into it. And when that happens, I expect the value to move tremendously. And to kind of, show an example of what the power of small countries have on the price of XRP. Since XRP has essentially been banned by most American exchanges, right? Like pretty much everywhere except Uphold, you can't buy it with fiat. Uphold's like the only place that with fiat you can buy it at this point. And So they took out the entire American support system to be able to support this asset, right? They took out the infrastructure. And who did that? Well, the dark groups did it, right? And this is another example of why I know that XRP is supported by the light, because the dark is attacking it so heavily. And they've pretty much removed the ability for anyone to buy it in the US. And so the only markets really moving the value of XRP now are the overseas markets, particularly the Asian market in Japan and South Korea are the main markets from what I've seen that are moving the price. And so part of why people speculate that we got the increase in price soon, at least from like the 60, 70 cent range to the dollar range, was because there was Ripple opened up a liquidity corridor in Japan with a group called SBI, which is basically in English means that Japan's using more XRP now because Ripple implemented this corridor for them to use more XRP. And so just from that, the value went up. And so when you look at that and you look at the same kind of things happening with South Korea, that South Korea, when there's big news there, is able to move the market several percentage, you know, like 10% or more from what I've seen. And then you think about how small those countries are. Think about how much the US is going to be able to move that market when the US has regulatory clarity. And then not only do you have all the banks buying it up, but you have all the retail investors like us buying it up. And it's all happening at once. And this is where I see that single green candle that people talk about overnight happening. Like we get regulatory clarity, and then all of a sudden all the banks and all the smart money and then the retail behind them are like, you know, playing catch up and trying to buy in. And by then it'll be too late. And that's why we're investing now, right? Because as they say, you invest before you hear about the news of the settlement. By the time you hear about the settlement, it's already too late. I think that came from Wolf of Wall Street. Not that that's a good source to quote, but it's true. And I heard Mickey B. Fresh and Patty XRP, they have their own YouTube channel today, talking about how they think that the increase in price in the market right now, aside from just the fact that Bitcoin is going up in price, and of course XRP is going to go up with Bitcoin because everything's linked with Bitcoin, but XRP is moving the most. Like if you go to the top gainers chart on CoinMarketCap, XRP is like number 2 in the past 24 hours of all their top 100 coins. It's been like, it's moved up like 15% at this point or something like that. And so, yeah, America is really going to move those charts is what I'm really feeling. And it's going to happen fast. So all you have to do is look at what's happening in Asia and how much they're able to move with the, you know, relatively smaller population that they have compared to us. Scott, you said the link is not working when you clicked it for Telegram. I think maybe the O on Origins was in the link was typed as a 0 when it should be an O. On my Instagram is the only place that I have the 0 on the O for Origins, because I had to remake that because they deleted my old one. But everywhere else on all my content, it's Origins with a normal O, like the letter. So maybe that's the reason why the link didn't work. Or maybe it's just bugging out because they're censoring. Quant is backed by Sasquatch, says Wild Sense. That's funny. Would you care to elaborate more? Scott, how do we connect on other platforms like Telegram, Discord, or something? Do you mean how do we connect to like this group of people? I don't have a Discord, but maybe I'll make one. I'm kind of Discord challenged. Every time I try to use it, I just kind of get overwhelmed and confused. Guess I'm getting older. Can't keep up with all the tech the kids use. But Telegram, I'm active on there and really like. I didn't put the description down below because this is just for my phone. But we're going to be building a new studio this week, actually. We just got a new table, and we're going to be reorienting the space. And so maybe next week I'll be back in the studio and then I'll have all the links in my description, because when I do it on my phone, I have to type out the description manually, so I don't put everything I normally do. But if you go to one of my older videos where I'm in the studio, I have all my other social links and stuff. I think the only thing I put down here is my email. So again, if you guys are interested in a crypto coaching session, I've just opened up a limited number of spots, like basically 5 spots, I think is what I can do right now on top of what I'm currently seeing client-wise. But this is going to be crypto coaching for basically all this kind of stuff I'm talking about right now. If you have any questions about that, I can help you with information about the space. I mainly do technical assistance with people. Actually the technical sides of getting through setting up the exchanges and the wallets and the transactions, and how do I send, and what wallet do I use, and you know, all that kind of stuff. And then we can talk about projects and coins and things like that as well. And if you want one of those coaching sessions with me, they take place over Zoom, and you can just email me cosmicorigins777@gmail.com. And then I'm also developing a live course right now. If you guys are interested in that, that'll probably be out next month. If you want to pre-register for that and save your spot, you can email me, same email. And otherwise, you can register for that when I officially launch it publicly. And in that course, I'm going to cover basically all the basics of everything anyone would need to know getting into the space brand new. So what are exchanges? Which exchanges have the coins that you want? What is KYC, know your customer check? How does the regulation work currently? What is the difference between an exchange and keeping your money on an exchange and having your money in a wallet? And what are the different kinds of wallets? And what is decentralized finance? What is you know, all this different stuff basically is going to be covered in the course, and it'll be easy for people that are brand new, but it'll still have information for people that are in the space and already invested and aware. It'll have info that hopefully you will find still relevant and new. So I want to make it all inclusive for both new people and old people. So again, if you're interested in that, email me below. Tyler says, I also coach website development. I guess I do now, maybe. I've been coaching Tyler through website development. Maybe. I mean, I just do it through Wix, but if you guys do actually want to build a website through Wix, I could help you with that. Okay, the link worked. Awesome. Thank you, Karia. All right, what else do we want to talk about? So Aaron Starborn in the Telegram group had a question specifically about hot wallets versus cold wallets. And this is something that I will discuss more extensively in the course, but I'll cover the basics of that now. So essentially, there's 3 different places you can store your cryptocurrency. One is an exchange like Uphold, Coinbase, Crypto.com, BitTrue, exchanges. The drawback to that is that you don't actually own your crypto there. They own the private keys, the password to your crypto. So this is where it's a really sketchy area and where there's not a lot of regulation clarity, and there's a lot of room for shady stuff to happen, especially with hacking and things like that. And there, in the early days of crypto, there was a lot of shady activity with exchanges just bolting with billions of dollars in people's money. There we go. Sorry, Ryan, I'm doing a live stream right now. I'll call you back. So yeah, in the early days, a lot of that was happening. Mostly China, not so much America, but the vulnerability now is really with the hacking, cyber attacks and stuff. So if one of these exchanges like Uphold were to be hacked and you had a couple $1,000s in there or whatever, you might not get that back if they actually got hacked and hackers stole the money. You know, like there's a lot of gray area. So the most sovereign place to store your crypto is one of the other 2. So the first one was the exchange. The middle option, we're going to go from least secure to most secure. Least secure, exchanges. Mid security is a free software wallet which you can download from the App Store or the Google Play Store. And there's a ton of different brands. The wallets that I use for XRP, I really, really like the Zum wallet, and that's spelled X-U-M-M, X-U-M-M, Zum. It's the same developers who made the XRP toolkit, if you guys are familiar with that. And it's just a really, really easy to use wallet that is great for, their specialty is like sending transactions between people. So I use it anytime someone sends me XRP, I usually go to that wallet and then I'll put it into like my savings wallets later. So like my hard wallets, you know, those are my savings wallets. But the Zum wallet's really easy and efficient to use for just quick sending XRP to people. And I believe that they actually support a limited number of other tokens now. The other software wallet that I recommend is the Decent wallet and the free version. So Decent also has a hardware wallet. I'll talk about that in a second, but the free software wallet from Decent is just in the App Store, and it's really awesome and easy to use for the most part. If you're brand new, it could be a little confusing, and that's where like I could help you with coaching. I've been helping people navigate Decent wallet. But if you're already pretty familiar with the space, it's really easy. And Decent's great because if you end up wanting the hardware wallet, you can just go buy their hardware wallet, and the app is the same exact app, so you don't have to learn anything new. Really easy to use, and you can switch back and forth between the software wallet and the hard wallet. So software wallets, they store your keys on your phone. So this is where it's a slight security risk, because if your phone gets stolen, the only thing preventing the thief from sending their, if someone takes your phone, the only thing preventing them from sending the XRP on your phone to their phone is your PIN code. So you have like a 6-digit PIN code on these wallets, and that's really the only security. That's why people opt for the hardware wallets for large storage amounts. The hardware wallets are physical devices. They look usually like a USB or a small PDA or something. The Decent and the Ledger are some of the most popular. There's also the Trezor. I have a Decent and a Ledger. I don't have a Trezor. I like my Decent better than my Ledger because it's all over the phone. With the Ledger, you have to plug it into your laptop, and I just don't like it as much. It feels less secure. I get more sketched out using my laptop because they're more vulnerable to viruses and things. And it's just easier to do it all over your phone. And with that Decent hardware wallet, that one is actually fingerprint scanned. So you need your fingerprint to actually get it, which means if someone steals the actual wallet, they still can't get into it without the fingerprint, your fingerprint. And then just as a general clarity, for these passwords, the keys, private keys, they're not actually stored, or sorry, your crypto is not actually stored on the wallet. So if you have a Ledger or you have a Decent wallet, you might picture, oh, my crypto is like in here basically, right? But technically it's not. It's all crypto is in the blockchain. It's on the ledger, which is basically in the ether essentially. You can think of it like metaphysically as kind of just being omnipresent in a way, but it's not like on your device. Your device stores the password to access the funds in the ledger, and that's how they work. So least secure exchange, mid security, free software app like Decent or Zum, most security, a hardware wallet like the hard Decent wallet or the Ledger. Angelito says, would you warn against having 100% of your assets on a cold wallet, like not putting all of our eggs in a basket? Yeah, personally, that's what I don't do. I don't put anything in one place because, you know, anything could go wrong. You never know what could happen. Mistakes always happen. Unexpected things always happen. And rather than having everything stored in one place, if one position gets compromised, you're not compromising all of your investments. So I have them spread out basically amongst a variety of places, from exchanges to cold wallets to software wallets. I have everything kind of dispersed. But To do that, you need to be more present with it, right? Like you need to know all your passwords. You need to make sure you have all your keys written down. That's really important, that when you're writing down your keys, never, ever, ever, ever take a picture of them or send an email of it or store it anywhere on the internet, your private keys. It should only be a physical copy, because that's when you're exposing yourself to vulnerability for sure. If you put a digital copy of your private keys somewhere in a digital space, you're opening it up to be hacked. So put it in a safe, you know, put it, they make these little steel tubes, which are really awesome, or steel plates where it's etched into there. And the steel tube is like a rod, and it has like all the letters, and you put the letters on the rod in the order that your password is. And then it's like fireproof and, you know, waterproof and all that kind of stuff. Those are really cool. I'll probably get one of those. But yeah, big caution to never ever take a picture, send an email, never put your keys anywhere on the computer or online or anything like that. Let's effing go, says Zach. What's up, Mowgli? Thoughts, opinions on Uphold wallet? So like, as I just talked about, the exchanges. So Uphold, I don't know if you're talking about the possibility of Uphold making an actual wallet in the future. I heard that might be coming, but right now they don't have an actual wallet. They have an exchange account. So again, when you're holding your cryptos on their exchange account, they hold the password. You don't have the password. You don't have sovereignty over your funds. They have the password, and it's in a pool with a bunch of other people's money in the same account, and they essentially have the power over that. So I like Uphold as an exchange. I think that they're one of the best exchanges out there. They're also one of the smallest, so there are some downsides, like people have talked about the cooling off period and the 60 days waiting when you use your bank account. It is a downside. You know, you could use Coinbase to buy XLM and swap it into XRP as an alternative, but energetically, I trust Uphold a lot more than I trust Coinbase. Coinbase to me is like the Facebook of crypto, and I get really bad vibes from their CEO, and they're just like the Twitter or Facebook of crypto to me. But Uphold, I get better vibes about. But again, you don't want to store large amounts of money on those exchanges. Liberty says, silly question, but when it's stored on a ledger or a wallet, it's still able to make money. I won't say the other. Yeah, don't say the other. yeah, it's wherever you're storing it, you know, it's gonna still move with the market. There's nowhere that you could store it that you wouldn't, you know, make money, that you wouldn't move with the market price. It's always going to have that market value, whether it's higher or lower. The only coins that don't do that are those stable coins, which are the ones that are pegged to the US dollar, like USDC or Tether, XUSD. Alexis, just mail them to me and I'll hold them for you. Human Being says, so Uphold is different than Zum in terms of functionality. Yes, they are. So Uphold is an exchange. They have the private keys to your crypto. They have the password. They're an exchange. So they are a private company that is holding your funds for you, kind of like a bank, where you're like, okay, I'm going to trust you to hold my money for me. They're also the avenue for purchasing it, right? Because they're the exchange. So they're selling you the crypto for fiat, and then they're holding on to it for you until you decide to transfer it out. But if you transfer it to something like Zum was created by, you know, not a company, but it was created by a third party, but it's decentralized. So the guy or the group that created the Zum wallet doesn't have any authority or say so on what happens to your funds in that wallet. They can redevelop the wallet, they can update it, that kind of stuff, but they can't take your funds from you. They can't freeze your funds. They literally don't have the power to do that. Versus Uphold, they can freeze your funds, they can do whatever, because they hold all the power to your money, basically. Scott, so what should a new person do? What do you mean? I would say book a session with me, and we'll go over one by one what you're looking to do, and how to do it, and I can help you out with whatever you're interested in doing. But what a new person should do is depends who you are, what you want, what you feel aligned with. Okay, Liberty says, so I downloaded Zum and it says I need to activate it with XRP, but when I tried it from Uphold, I can't figure it out. So it's probably because you need, anytime you start a new wallet for XRP, it takes a 20 XRP minimum to activate it. So basically you need to have 20 XRP in the wallet at all times. So what I always do is I'll send 22. So it puts 20 in that reserve to activate it, and then you have 2 left over to use, and then when you add it, you have all that in there, but it keeps that 20 as like the activation amount. So that's probably why. But if you're just wondering on how to send it from Uphold, that's something I can help you with in a one-on-one session, or potentially in the class I will cover it. But you just send, if you've ever sent a transaction via XRP, you just send it to that wallet. That's all it is. What do we do as normal citizens to get to switch off to Android or Apple phones? I don't understand what you're asking. You're saying you want to get away from Android or Apple phone? Or you're asking which is better between the two? I honestly don't know. Like, I've been Android my whole life, but I just got an iPhone last year because I was like feeling I needed to buy American, and all my Android phones were Chinese made in the past, or Japanese or Korean. And I was like, I feel I need to buy American, and it was between the Google phone and the iPhone, and I was like, oh, what's just the lesser of two evils? And even though I've had Google my whole life, Apple kind of felt energetically like the lesser of two evils between the two, so I went with an iPhone. But if you're asking about phones with crypto, it doesn't make any difference. Okay, so one of the other things I want to talk about before I scoot on out of here today is, well, I want to talk about Stronghold, but I also put Songbird in there. So let's talk about Flare and Songbird for a sec, and then we'll end with Stronghold, SHX. And then I'm going to do a dedicated video for Stronghold too. So with like going to their website and showing you guys their white paper, and we're going to go through what they say in their white paper and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, he can come out. Yeah, Puppy's going to come outside. Hi, Puppy. Oh, hi, buddy. You want to say hi to the camera? Oh, this is Apollo. He's been just crying at the back door because he wants to hang out, you guys. So, Flare. Let's talk about Flare and Songbird for a sec. So, Songbird, I think I briefly discussed it, is going to be the test network for Flare. So they said Flare won't be coming out until October. The Songbird network will likely be coming out in the next month, it seems. Don't jump in there, please. So with Songbird, it's going to be a real crypto network. This isn't like the beta test for Flare Finance that I've talked about, which was a kind of a closed practice. Paulo, don't do that, please. Come on. Hold on, I got to put him inside. Come on, buddy. No, let's go inside. Come on. So with the Flare beta, that was like a closed thing that didn't have any real value. It was all fake money, basically, made up money. With the Canary Songbird network, and I say Canary because the category of network is called a Canary Test Network, but theirs is named Songbird. So a Canary network is a general network in crypto for any test network for the main network. And the purpose of it is that all the updates and anything development-wise that would go to the Flare networks is going to go through Songbird first. And the network that created this basically technology was Polkadot, pretty sure, Polkadot, and they had a network called Kusama as their test network. And it's a real network with real value that you can invest real money in and make a real profit. But it's a test network, so it's very interesting. And this is like newer to me. I wasn't familiar with this until Flare talked about it, and I really did the research on it. But I had seen Kusama, didn't really know it was related to Polkadot or anything. So what's going to happen is that for those that were going to get airdropped Spark tokens, for those that had XRP on 12/12 of 2020, when that whole snapshot happened, and if you already know you're set to receive Spark, you're also going to receive Songbird, and you're going to receive 0.15, 15%. You're going to receive 0.15 tokens of Songbird for every 1 XRP. So basically 15% of whatever you did. And that kind of lines up with the 15% initial airdrop of the Spark token, which might end up being the total allotment if we end up deciding that as a governance vote, which I think could actually work out for the best. Maybe an unpopular opinion, and maybe I'm wrong, but if we were to get that total amount of Flare, if they made the 15% the whole allotment, then we would be having all of our Flare from day one of launch. Would be really cool. But anyway, with this test network, I don't know much about how it's actually gonna play out for like us using it, and you know, if it's like price wise, no idea. Like I know that with I mean, I do have somewhat of a guess in the sense that with Kusama, the price per coin was much higher than Polkadot, but that's because there's a smaller amount of tokens. So just like with this, there's a smaller amount of Songbird tokens than there are Spark tokens. And so you can guess that the price would be higher just based on that. But investment wise, that doesn't mean it's going to be a better investment opportunity just because the price is higher, because there's less coins. You know what I mean? So it'll be really interesting to see how this plays out. And I feel like this had to be a thing that they planned the whole time, that they just like brought to our attention last minute, or it was like a backup plan, because I feel like Flare was really waiting for XRP to do its thing, like go to 589 or, you know, at least 100 or something, to really get the value and practicality out of the Flare network launch. Because if the more value comes into Flare in the beginning, the better it's going to be for everybody using Flare, because our rewards are going to be insanely higher if XRP is worth $100 than if it's worth $1. You know what I mean? So it would give that much more value and attention and eyes on the Flare network, and it would alleviate the whole concern of XRP mooning in the whole F asset minting process, and then the worry of trading back into XRP. So you have actual XRP when it's mooning versus FXRP, if that's even a concern. That might not even be a concern for some people. It's not like a major concern for me. Like I think if they're pegged 1-to-1, FXRP and XRP, they should be the same. I think the only risk is people saying that the agent would default on you, and then but that's when the network has that built-in insurance where you would get paid 2.5 times the value of what your agent defaulted, but in Spark tokens instead of XRP, and that's their insurance for that. But we wouldn't have to worry about that possibility at all if the moon happens prior to Flare network launch. So I feel like they were expecting the flip of the switch to happen sometime in the past couple months, and it didn't for whatever reason. Maybe it was a fake out, you know, fake out the dark. But I feel like that's why they postponed it. And they're blaming it on, I think, an audit and maybe some other stuff. But the fact that they unveiled this whole new test network, they'd never talked about that. And then it was just like, all right, we're going to postpone till October, but you guys get this test network, which has real value, and you're going to get basically airdropped free money again. It might be worth nothing, could be worth a lot, but it's a very interesting thing that they're doing. And I can only imagine that there's a lot going on behind the scenes with this war that's playing out. I believe Songbird will get airdropped all at once, Angelito. I'm pretty sure they airdropped the entire 15% relative to your XRP holdings. Pretty sure it's going to all come out at once, and it should be in the next month or so. I mean, who knows? So that's what they're saying. I mean, we've been saying that with Flare for months, so I don't have expectations, but just based off what they're saying, that's the most likely scenario, I guess. So the last thing we'll talk about is Stronghold. So this is a network that I found through, I think it must have been through Zach, through Zen God initially. Love you too, Scott. Thanks, man. So Stronghold is a institutional payments network. So very similar on the surface to what Ripple is doing with XRP. Stronghold's mission, one of their missions, is to, there's a beautiful yellow bird over here, like a yellow canary, so bright. One of their missions is to create instant settlements, cross borders and stuff like that. So honestly, very similar to the mission Ripple has, but it's going to be different. But the words and terminology they use to describe it at this point is very similar, because it's all kind of, they're very vague too, Stronghold, which is very interesting. It's very hard to find information about them. They're very vague. They're very small. But what really made me, besides my spiritual intuition being like, you got to look into this, like this is going to be big, you got to look into this, logically what made me really go whoa and look at it is when both Ripple and Flare networks tweeted and tagged Stronghold and said that they were essential partners to what they were doing. And I was like, okay, if both Ripple and Flare are saying that Stronghold's an essential partner in helping them, like they're not competing, they're working together, then that is a good sign for me, on top of the nudges from Spirit that I was getting. So Stronghold is run by a woman named Tammy Camp. So this is the other thing I look into is what is the energy of the CEO and the people running it, the founders. And this lady, her name's Tammy Camp, and she is, from what I can tell, a super cool lady. She like kite surfs and is just super laid back and has a really good vibe. She's got a really good energy to her, and very intelligent, and you can tell she's spiritual. If you look up videos about her, she has videos, like, it's really hard to find, but if you look up Tammy Camp, some of the videos that come up are like her talking about health foods and wellness and things like that, like totally not finance related, like her making a smoothie in her kitchen and talking about like superfoods and stuff. And you know, totally different vibe than other people in the Silicon Valley financial type space, like the head of the head of Coinbase, and like Jack from Twitter, and like all these other people who have a way different vibe. She's like us. She's like laid back and cool, and that gave me a really good vibe about Stronghold. And then the other thing is that it's an insanely low price. So right now, well, for the past couple weeks, it's been hovering around a cent. I think maybe it's starting to pump right now with the market. I just saw it start to go up, but I've been throwing a little bit in it like every like week or so for the past couple weeks, and not like a ton, because it is still a like relative to my portfolio, it's still a small percentage. Like I think now it's my like third biggest holding, but it's still only like 2% of my portfolio. But yeah, the low price is really drawing feature to it. And if you look at the circulating coins, there are 100 billion coins total, just like with XRP. So same amount of coins, so same price potential. Basically, that's one thing to look at with projects. It's one of the first things I look at is how many coins are minted, how many are future potentially going to be minted. Is it inflationary? Is it deflationary like XRP, which it is, and I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure. And shit, brain fart. Oh yeah, how many are circulating? So total minted and circulating are sometimes different. So total minted for Stronghold is 100 billion, but there's only 3 billion circulating. So it's an interesting thing. they, again, are very discreet with their information and what they share. And they're not like this well-known, like they're not on public exchanges. So the only place to buy Stronghold that I know of is Lobster Wallet. And this is something that I can help you with coaching one-on-one, because Lobster is definitely one of the, how do I want to say it? I don't know if I want to say harder or more sketchy, maybe a combination of the two, harder and more sketchy purchasing places that I've had to use. And I only say that because it's full of scam tokens. Lobster Wallet is full of scam tokens, and I lost several $100s the first time I tried to invest in Stronghold because I chose a scam token instead of the real token. And that's what I can show you how to do correctly, how to not make the mistake I made, because I made it and I know how not to. That's what I can show you with these one-on-one sessions. So otherwise, if you feel pretty competent with this stuff, the simple aspect of it is that make sure when you're choosing the asset on Lobster that you're using the one that is published by stronghold.co, because I did one that was published by, it was like something Flare, and it was a total scam. And I thought it was gonna be, I thought they were just like different sources to buy them from, and I didn't realize they were like different tokens and that these other ones were legit just copies. So make sure you choose the one that comes from stronghold.co, and you can actually find the coin contract, if you know what that means, on the Stronghold website. You can compare the coin contract with the coin contract on Lobster to really make sure that they're the same one, and I can show you how to do that as well. So if Stronghold is something you're interested in and you want coaching on how to invest in it, send me an email down below, cosmicorigins777@gmail.com. Again, not financial advice. I'm not telling you you should invest in it. I don't give financial advice because it's just not what I do. But I do tell you why I am interested in the things that I am invested in. And then you can make your own decisions based on that and with your own research. So Liberty says, Chang, that's me in the middle of talking with anyone, and if it has wings, I'm like, look at that. Thank you for showing me I'm not the only person. Yeah, birds always catch my eye. I gotta stop and see the birds. Yesterday I was just looking in the trees, and literally I was just staring at this one spot, like kind of zoning out, and this giant black hawk comes and lands right in the branch that I'm staring at, and I was just like, whoa, like the higher self realization, super trippy. It was pretty magical. Tammy Camp on athletic greens. That's what it was. Did you know that off the top of your head, or did you look it up right now? Yeah, there's like videos of her like kite surfing and stuff. So they're cool. And like I said, super small, hard to like get coins from them. Like Lobster's the only place I know of, but there's been a lot of pressure on Twitter lately. A lot of people tagging BitTrue, telling BitTrue to list Stronghold. So what my strategy is, can't recommend this to you, but if you want to follow what I'm doing, my strategy is to find these low market cap coins that I know are going to be regulatory compliant, that I know are going to be working with these other projects that I'm already interested in and trust and have a feel for, and that have a low cost and that are not on major exchanges. So that's a big one. So as soon as they get on major exchanges, more people have access to them, and so more people will be buying it, and naturally the price will go up. So I try to find golden nuggets like that before they get listed on big exchanges or even medium exchanges like BitTrue or Uphold. But then, you know, if it gets listed on BitTrue, I imagine there will be a pump for sure. If it gets listed on Uphold, same thing. If it gets listed on Coinbase one day, that's like another level of, you know, visibility and money flowing in. And so that's where it's good to get into these projects early, especially when your intuition's telling you. So many times my intuition has told me to like invest in something, like when Quant was back at $40 or cheaper and I didn't, and now it's like 150. right? So follow that intuition when your guides are telling you. And sometimes your logical mind is like stressed about it because you're like, oh, whatever. You find something to argue the mental download from spirit. And just learning to recognize those moments is something that I've been working on. Liberty, can I help today with coaching? I can't today. We can book a session for next week. Next week, I'm open. I have 2 sessions booked next week. Tuesday, Thursday, I'm busy, but I could do Monday or Wednesday at this point of next week. And then I'm going to be not available the week after that. And then I'll have availability again the beginning of next month. So if it is something that you want to get on soon, I might even be able to help you out Sunday. So, but we could definitely get it on Monday if you'd like. But send me an email and we'll talk about that for sure. So what else, you guys? Anyone have any questions? Angelito, what exchanges offer Stronghold? It's just Lobster. And Lobster is, I don't even know if you'd call them an exchange. I don't think they're technically an exchange. I think it's just a portal through buying through other places. So I don't even know if there are any exchanges that have. Actually, if you go to CoinMarketCap and you go to SHX and you click market, it'll tell you on any coin where you can buy it. And there is a peer-to-peer, I think, decentralized exchange that might have Stronghold. I think it's even called P2P, but I've never used it. I don't know anything about it, and I couldn't give you any advice on that. Yeah, Lobster's a wallet with exchange built in. I was just thinking, like, I don't know if it's technically an exchange in the sense that I think exchanges have their own reserves. I don't think Lobster has their own reserve. I think Lobster just portals you out to other sources and gives you a direct link to them. But I don't believe that they have an actual reserve of their own tokens themselves, but I could be mistaken about that. Where do I find you apart from here, says Scott? You can find me on Instagram. And I'll put that in the chat right now. It's at Cosmic Origins, but oh, maybe I can't even type. Huh? Maybe somebody can drop it in the chat for me. It won't even let me chat, which is very strange. So my Instagram is at Cosmic Origins, and the O is a 0 on Origins. At Cosmic Origins with a 0, and Telegram, t.me/Cosmic Origins channel. And you can go to our website. If you guys want to actually see the Family of Light Gathering, we have recordings of the Family of Light Gathering available for only $33 for the entire raw footage of the event, which I'm going to later edit down. But for now, it's all available up there for $33 if you guys want to see it. And that's on familyoflight.info. That was our conference that we did a couple weeks ago. And then, yeah, you can go to our website, Divine Sovereign Beings, if you want to know more too, but that's kind of under construction and it needs some love. I got to add some love to that and reformat it and stuff. But Divine Sovereign Beings is my wife and I's website together. And then that's pretty much all the places you can find me right now. I've been deleted from pretty much everywhere else. So no Twitter, no Facebook. Yes. And then again, you guys, we're going to be having this retreat in Sedona coming up. It's going to be this winter, December 1st through 5th. It's a giant 10-bedroom house. And it's a dome house. And it's right on the creek. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got a hot tub on the roof. It's unlimited ice water plunges in the creek right there. And the retreat is going to have food all included, lodging, of course, all included, health conscious meals that are sensitive to your diet. There's going to be sound baths. There's going to be morning yoga. There's going to be guided tours around Sedona. and lots of relaxing, recharging, rejuvenating time. So this is kind of the feminine counterpart to the conference. So the conference was like the male kind of energy, information, like expression, like that kind of energy. You know, it was very like, it was a lot. Like it's, you know, when you're in those kind of settings, like you're working, you're flexing your mind, your spirit muscles. This is more of the feminine, relaxing, rejuvenation counterpart to that. So this is where we're gonna really ground and activate and cultivate as a group. It's gonna be fantastic for networking and for building projects for the new earth together. The few people that are signed up already are XRP investors and are already both huge into creating future projects for the new earth involving XRP and crypto and ascension and all that kind of stuff. So it's gonna be really cool to see which beings are called to this space to align together, and we're gonna have these 5 days together, and I'm so excited. So if you guys want to know more about that, or you want to get a reservation for that, you can email me in the email in the description, which is cosmicorigins777@gmail.com. And yeah. Yep. Chilling. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting like and hitting the notification bell on the videos, it actually really helps with the algorithms, because I'm very I don't even want to say the word because I feel like it makes it worse, but you know, my information has been very suppressed, so it's nice to do anything you can that kind of re-stimulates the algorithms and gets that info flowing back out there. So all right, you guys, well, that was great. I think I hit everything I wanted to cover. Super excited for what's going to happen in the coming days with XRP and the crypto in general. I'm working on this live course that'll be out next month. In the meantime, I do one-on-one sessions if you want help with that. Got this retreat coming up, and that's pretty much everything for me, I think. So yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Love you guys so much. Always a pleasure. And you can look forward to probably a video in the coming week about Stronghold more in depth, where we're going to look at the website, look at their white papers and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, and then if anything else crazy exciting happens, I'm probably going to be on here to talk about it. I'm finally getting S-banned from Instagram, which is really nice. Like for a couple weeks there, months, I was like really suppressed on there, and I've been like straight up banned from live streaming on Instagram. Like I still can't live stream, haven't been able to for a while, and they deleted like 3 of my other Instagram pages, and this is the only one they're dangling for me to have left. But finally got S-banned, and I knew I was S-banned aside from the live stream ban, because I went from like 300 plus views on my stories and likes and stuff to like 20 in like a day, and then it was like 15, and then it was like no one was seeing my stuff, and then a couple days ago it just popped back up all of a sudden to like a few hundred, and I'm getting all these messages from people. They're like, I thought you were gone, like I haven't seen your stuff in weeks, like. And I was like, man, so I'm glad to be back in the algorithms on Instagram, and hopefully YouTube too, because man, I've been doing this for years and my channel has just been very slow to grow, which is fine. You know, that's, you know, how things are. I'm not here to like get as many followers as I can, obviously, or else I wouldn't be talking about the kind of stuff that I do. Like I'm more interested in being real and transparent and honest and like real with you guys about what's going on than trying to cater my material to getting the most views. I do avoid certain keywords so that I don't get more, you know, banned, but I'm not gonna like not talk about certain things because I'm afraid that they're gonna ban me, which I know a lot of people do, you know. So just trying to be real, and I'm gonna keep being real, and the world's gonna keep getting more real and more transparent, and it's gonna work out for the best for all of us. The more that we honor ourselves and honor our missions and honor our hearts and our spirits and what we want to do and following our passions. Oh my God, like such an important thing that has really been coming in this week, and watching people in my life and honoring our passions and our our love for the things that make life fun is so important, and not getting caught up in the mind about what could happen, or worrying, or any kind of blockages that are mental, but really feeling into that, like knowing that we are on the golden timeline. Things are going to be amazing. Like, we are set up to be the stewards of this new earth, and that's the truth. And however it plays out, however things on this earth go down, go up, it's going to be all right. And to have faith in that is really important. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to get out of here. Scott asking for the Telegram link again. Did you not get it? Could someone post it in there for him, please? T.me/Cosmic Origins channel for Telegram. And then there's a chat associated with that too that I will share in that main group so you guys can join. So, all right, you guys, much love. Peace out. I will see you around.